Hello, you guys! Happy FRI-YAY! Woohoo! I know I didn't start that word. I don't know who did, but I really like it. And that's my Friday dance. It's not good, but it is what it is. Okay, I've got my coffee. I really actually do. And here's why. So, the children are home. Yeah. It's Friday morning. They're on fall break. So they've been home for 3 days. Yeah, this may be my third cup of coffee. Maybe. Actually, the 16-year-old is still sleeping, and the 13-year-old, I hope, is cleaning her room. I don't think that's happening. How has your week been? So my mom and dad were here. They just left on Wednesday morning. They arrived last Friday, and they spent Canadian Thanksgiving with us here in the USA. We had ham for Thanksgiving dinner because do you know how hard it is to find a turkey in Tennessee in October? Very hard because they're not ready yet because Thanksgiving in the USA is not till November, right? So we had ham, but we had honey baked ham, which is a southern amazing thing. It was fun to have them here, and we did a little bit of boot shopping, cowboy boot shopping for my dad, and went to the Opryland Hotel because if you visit Nashville, you have to see that place. It's spectacular. And downtown Nashville, and just hung out with my mom and dad, you know? It's always fun to have them. And so that's kind of been my week. And belated Happy Thanksgiving, you guys. Canadian people. It's so awesome. Like I've said to my husband, like for the rest of our lives now, we have 2 Thanksgivings, October and November. It's very fun. So that has been my week. It's been a little bit full, and now the kids are home. Yeah. Anyway, so here's how I was going to approach today, and I still am. I'm not going to talk very much. And I say that every week. And then I'm like, 20 minutes? How did that happen? And my family's all like, yeah, you can talk for 20 minutes. No problem. So I'm sorry. The last thing you need is to hear me talk that long. So, oh, guys, you know, it's so good. Yeah, go get your coffee. Let's do this together. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to get right into it. You tell me you have watched Monday and Wednesday shows with the girls and Jully Black. You guys, if I've ever wanted to be in Canada in that studio, it was Jully Black. I love her voice. I have always loved this woman's voice. And then she's with the girls in the studio and speaking all kinds of wisdom and awesome things, and I've been glued to it. I actually have watched Wednesday's show, I think 4 times, and not just so I could, you know, kind of recap for today, but because it is so gripped my heart. I've loved it, and I've gone back and I've listened to it again and again because I just want to take what she has said seriously and just kind of look at my life a little bit and go, okay, like that is good stuff. And so I really do just want to talk about mostly what she had elaborated on Wednesday. And oh my goodness, you guys, you know what? I should just end this right now and go, what they said, and just go watch it because it's so awesome. So I just love how she just kind of has wrapped up life in the word shape, and how that kind of seems like sometimes we don't like that word because as women, what do we think of? Yeah, our bodies and what we don't like and our size and maybe the pants we can or cannot fit into. And trust me, I can't fit into any of the ones I brought here from Canada because there is a lot of barbecue here and good food and a lot of food. So I got to work on that. But I love what she has done with this word because it's true. The shape of who we are in our lives and what does it mean to us? This is why I've had to listen to it over and over going, yeah, okay. So the first, so S, spirituality. So huge. And number 1, and I love that it's number 1. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to me? What does that mean every day of our lives? And what are we doing with that? And I love, for me, is the seeing Jesus in everything. And I think Cheryl said that. She's like, I changed the way I see everything. And I see God in everything. And sometimes it takes changing our lens to see God in everything and in everybody. Do you know how many times I've had to tell myself and my kids, but mostly myself, especially about people that maybe have hurt me or just can't quite find the love for them? I've had to so many times over and over go, but Jesus loves them the same as he loves me. So who am I? For God so loved the world. All of us, equally the same. For God so loved the world. So the people I'm struggling with, okay, but Jesus loves them too. And sometimes we do have to change our eyesight. And I have actually prayed, oh my goodness, I have actually prayed, Jesus, please give me your eyes to see this person because I am struggling with the love part. But you love them. So what are you seeing? What is the beauty you see that you love this person? And isn't he so gracious to all of us? Because I'm sure someone's looked at me and gone the same. Jesus, please give me your eyes to see that girl because I don't love her. And yet somehow God, I love that he's our Father and can go, I love you because I've created you and you are mine. I just love you. With all of our good and our bad and our ugly and our sin, and he just loves us. And so what I've pulled away the most from the S so far is how we see everybody and everything and seeing God in everybody and everything. And that is probably going to take changing the lens of my eye. And you know what? Just being in conversation and in tune with Jesus every day, all through the day. I know that it's important to have specific set aside times, to just be with Jesus. But I just find that I talk to him all through the day, in Walmart, in the house, wherever. And just always nurturing our relationship with Jesus, just like we would with our kids and our spouse and our friends, right? So that's the S. And then H for health. That one's hard. And especially hard this week. My mother brought 7 kinds of cookies, you guys, 7 kinds of cookies to our house. And, so I got to tell you, so health is a thing. Like, I've read every book. I have every book. And yet it's still hard to make good choices. But I have been starting to do green smoothies in the morning. I've been reading this book. I guess this is a free plug for, have you heard of J.J. Smith? J.J. Smith's Green Smoothie Cleanse? Okay, well, I love her. And I have not followed it properly yet, but I do find when I make the green smoothies in the morning and usually have one for breakfast and lunch, I feel so much better. My body feels better. I just feel better. There's so much spinach and greens in it and good fruit. And I just feel so much better. And I have found that this week since my mom and dad have been here, haven't had one. And we're just eating all kinds of food and bad food and sugar and stuff. And I feel bleh. So what we put in matters, garbage in, garbage out, but good stuff in, good stuff out. And like Julie said, when I feel better, I do better. So I just really think the health thing we need to take seriously. I really do. And especially as we get older, because we could do more, right? For our families and our kids and for Jesus. We can't do anything if we're not putting the good stuff in. And I need to be better with that and make better choices. And you know what? It doesn't matter the choices anyone else is making. I still get to choose what I put inside my body. So that one, that's so hit a nerve with me. I'm like, all right, back at it. No excuses. All in. This is my hotel, like she said. And do I want it to be, the Motel 8 or what are those called? Or the Ritz-Carlton. Yeah, that hit a nerve. Okay, that's H. Abilities. Yeah. What do we do with our abilities and the gifts God gave us? That one is sometimes hard for me because sometimes I'm like, well, I'm doing nothing. And I don't know what to do. Or what are all of my abilities? I'm still maybe learning them at 43 years old. Or, well, I used to sing and I think that was one that God gave me, but I'm not now. But this is the season I'm in. So we have our abilities and maybe we do know, maybe we don't know, or maybe we're just not so sure. I feel like I'm kind of in that season of, I don't know what's next, but don't, but embrace that season also, because I think God gives us pregnant seasons sometimes where he's birthing something, but in order for our baby to be birthed, we need to go through the pregnancy and the waiting and sometimes the heartburn of just kind of what is next and what God, and he's just nurturing maybe the dream. Maybe you don't know what. I have my friend Ann Maines, who's an amazing writer, didn't really know perhaps that she was an amazing writer or that God would lead her to write some books. But all through her years of just raising her kids, just was writing and writing devotionals and just writing her heart. And God used that many years later. So what you're doing right now may seem, maybe you are writing or journaling or doing something and you're like, well, it doesn't mean anything. Well, maybe this is just the season of preparation and God has a plan. So don't be discouraged. Just embrace the season and your abilities and what God has gifted you with. You know in your gut the things that God has given you. I loved it. And I got to watch the show again because I want to hear more about that. And then personality is P. And it was so dead on. And they were especially talking about big personalities because I feel like most of us at See Hear Love have like these big personalities, and I too have been told you're too loud, you're too this, you're too, you move around too much when you sing, or you're too vocal about this or that, and have tried to be quiet and change who I am in the past, and realized, but that's not who I am either. Now, also love what Joanna was saying about we have to also know, when to fully be our loud, beautiful selves, but also when to be quiet. Like there's also some wisdom involved in knowing who we are and being who we are, but also knowing when the boldness is like, this is the time, but also when the silence is right. And that was so good. And maybe you have a quiet personality. Like my mom is a quiet personality, but I'm going to tell you, sitting with her for 5 days and just listening to her and her heart, like she is so amazing. You guys, embrace who you are. Be you. Unashamedly you. Right? We take who God has made us and we just go, okay, just help me, God, to be the best version of who you want me to be. Love it. And then E is experiences. And I love how Jully's just like, all of our experiences have brought us to this moment and have shaped and have been the prerequisite of where we are today and our purpose in today. And we are here today. We've had these experiences. There are more experiences to be had. Today is an experience. But embracing all of them and knowing that each step along the way takes us to the next thing. I've always thought like, God, I just want to see what the next thing is. I just want to, where am I going in my life? And I think sometimes he shields us a little bit and says, honey, you do not need to see the top of the staircase. You just need to keep taking one step at a time. I'm with you along the way, but this step that you're on is important today. This experience today is where you are today. And each one will take you further and further up this staircase, but trust me in the moment and in today. And do not, like all the experiences of our life, guys, you know what? I know we have regrets. I know there are things we may do differently. And maybe we're in a season of maybe this is a season of, I don't even know how I was going to say it, of maybe just kind of learning from some of our stuff and going, okay, well, I need to just, in order to close that chapter, maybe I need to say sorry to someone. Or maybe I just need to, like she said also, but she said it in the health department, change my tribe a little bit. Or maybe I need to just, you know what, you're in a good season. Embrace the experiences that you've had. Appreciate them. It's where you are today, and take today and embrace it and go, here I am today, God. This is your will for me today, wherever you have me, Maybe you're speaking at an event. Maybe you're just being nice to the woman in the Walmart, cashier in line. Embrace your experiences. Anyway, I love the show. And like Melinda said, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to actually grab a journal, which I don't do, and I know I should, but I really feel like I need to write these things down. And I probably need to write them down in my day planner. You know how I do that. And really see it all the time. I just feel like this is something we need to really look at. What do all of these words, spirituality, health, abilities, personality, and experience, our shape, and the shape of our life, and the shape of our families, and the shape of where we are at, what does that look like right now? Where are you at? I need to write some things down. I need to change a few things. But I just love seeing it this way and going, yeah, okay. So thank you, Jully Black, for bringing it to us honestly and in such an amazing way where we can just all look at that and go, oh yeah, okay. So I'm going to grab a book and I'm going to write these things down and kind of see where I am and reevaluate it often and change a few things. And what are you going to change? Like, I want to hear, what does shape mean to you? Can you let us know? Can we all do this together? You know, maybe take a picture of your book and have those words written down and send it to us and just let us know where you're at on the journey. Like, we're doing this together. And I love that we are. I'm holding my pen. I love that we are. And guys, go back and re-listen to that show many times because you know I'm going to be also, I've talked too long again. I don't know how it happens, but it happens. I'm sorry. I love you all so much. I'm very excited about this wisdom this week. I've needed it. I've needed it for my own heart. I've had to make some decisions, you know, in the last couple of weeks about actually just letting some things go and not taking something on that I really wanted to because I just didn't feel it was the season or the time right now. I'm in this season of nurturing a new family. So sometimes we have to make some hard decisions and we go, I want to do that, but it's not the right time. So this whole shape analogy has just really been good for me. And I know it'll be good for you too. So that's all for this Friday. Have a most amazing weekend. I cannot wait to see you next week and see how your week has been. And I cannot wait to see and hear what shape means to you. I love you all. Oh, you have to watch Wednesday's show because Jully sings one of my most favorite songs in the world at the end. It will grip you to your core. I have stood there every time with my jaw on the floor. So I'm not even going to tell you, but it's one of my most favorites and it just reaches the depths of my heart. And it was a perfect ending to that show because it just sums it all up. And who Jesus is and how much he cares about us and all the little things and all the big things and all about you and the shape of you and your life. He cares and you matter. And just take that to heart. I love you and just praying for all of you and just have a great weekend. I will see you next week. Bye.